friends at Pardon My Take, they have a segment called Blake of the Week. I decided to incorporate a little bit of their flavor into the review series. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
Blake Durham.
And you get the Blake of the Week for the review series this week. So congratulations on being the first Blake of the Week. Now, this is a referee review video, an officials review video. And we'll talk about the match and all that in just a second, what you chose. But talk to us. A lot of people have seen you around refereeing in Kentucky for the past 3 or 4 years. So tell us your wrestling journey for those that may not know.
Well, I'm from Louisville, so I started wrestling. Dad had me at about probably seriously started wrestling about 5 years old, but I was born right into it. Dad was coaching, and I was on his lap in the corner while he was sitting there. Me and my brother. But
Yeah.
yeah, I started out 5 years old at a club called River City.
And that's the St. Xavier feeder, correct?
Yep. And then once I got through middle school, I went there all 4 years of high school as well. So I was there
That's
from the time I was 5.
yeah. I mean, that's a and as we've seen in other videos, is maybe not so much anymore because the borders of the sport are growing, more teams are added on. A lot of teams that never even had wrestling are growing, so we're getting a bigger audience. But for the most part, man, for the longest time, if you just didn't have somebody in the sport of wrestling, like you said, dad, coaching, brothers, grandpa, uncle, neighbor, somebody in your
Yeah,
family, chances are you just didn't get into the sport. And it a lot of the sports are like that. I know, like swimming and diving, they're a kind of a closed sport. Soccer, and it's not necessarily that the sport isn't good or it's maybe not enjoyable to watch if you know what you're watching. It's just very few people tend to travel outside that. But I'm glad that the sport of wrestling in Kentucky is growing, and you've been an official in the state for, I believe, we're filming this April 30th, 2024. What is it? What, 5 years now? 6 years?
uh, I just finished. I think this is my 3rd year, so I'll be going in my 4th year.
Okay. And of course, man, you was able to you done the state tournament at GRC in 22 and 23 and back to the
Yep,
horse park in 24, man. So, you must be doing something right. Um,
I
well,
guess so, man.
that brings up part of, and every review video we've done, we've asked our state tournament level referees talk to the newer revs, maybe the revs that or the people that are thinking about becoming a referee. Give us the I don't want to say everything, but give us a few things that kind of have helped you get to that next level, be a state tournament level referee that maybe they just don't know to look for.
So my biggest thing was listening to the peers I had around me. I always had dad growing up, and he always refereed my whole life, and I watched him. It's something I knew I wanted to do at probably about middle school. I was like, yeah, I want to do that, and at some of the KWA tournaments they had in the spring, Garrett Pickle let me come in and ref a match with him or something, and just when you're that young and you're able to watch those guys, it really helps a lot. Like I had Mark Shoemate and Jason Sidorus and Dad to watch and learn from, and a lot of stuff that you'll notice it when you're a young age is you got to learn how to take criticism from people. Like they'll say some stuff that might hurt your feelings, get you down, but they're just saying it because they love you for one and they got your back. And our community in Kentucky, we're like brothers, man. It's awesome. Our referee buddies, we're really tight.
Yeah, the having, like you said, people that's been there before and they know what can get you there. Listening to them, like you said, sometimes you're just like, La 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 la, shut up. I don't want to hear you. I know what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
And then you go back and you watch yourself on video where they point something out and you're like, huh, you know what? That might be a good idea. Let's try that. And the of course you talked about hanging with your buds. I don't know how many meets we've worked together. Um, Middle school state,
Yeah.
of course, state tournament this year, a couple other regional tournaments, whatever, a couple along the way. And you see somebody maybe once or twice a year at a tournament and you won't see him again get to officiate. And you're like, wow, this guy's come a long way. Or, this last time I saw him, it was this. And I think the consensus for anybody that's watching this, whether you're in Kentucky or not, no matter what state you're in, what level, you will never go wrong on a wrestling mat by having good mechanics. No matter what it
Absolutely.
is, if it's from starting the match or giving your points, now that we're giving 3 for takedowns, 4 for near fall, 1 point in bounds, whatever even the new referee signal have we decided, is it thumbs that we're doing? Is it fingers? Is it pointing at yourself?
See, I don't know. I seen this as me time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. The thumbs are. I haven't seen it with the.
You'll see like other, like on you see TV, like even NFL games or college or even basketball referees are like, like when it's referee time, they're like my time, my time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got actually somebody today reached out wanting a video on the new rules. So I'm gonna have to get on that. We're gonna have to find, I guess, figure out, are we doing the whole hand? Is it fingers? Is it thumbs? I mean, what are
Yeah.
we doing
Yeah.
here? So that's one mechanic we haven't really got lined out as of this filming. But when I reached out to you asking you to do or what video you want to do, you chose a video from your first state tournament, and it was 2022 at GRC. So everybody gets a little nervous, a little anxious, a little excited when you get your mat or match, I should say, assignment that morning or that afternoon, whenever it is, how you do it, and you see, okay, man, 220 heavyweight, whatever weight that you're doing, it keeps on going around. You're watching, and you get a couple, and you start stretching, moving around a little bit, talking to whoever's going to be your assistant, and you're just like, I hope I don't fall going out onto the mat. I hope I don't, blow a call. I hope it's,
Oh
hope
yeah.
it's a good match. I don't want to get out here and just see a 8-second pin or whatever. I at least want to have a little bit of time, a little bit of experience, because no matter what anybody tells you, it's always it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different experience. And you chose 2022, 215 pounds, Uriah Versey and Jackson Gillier from Woodford County. Uriah's, of course, is from Paducah Tillman, and Uriah's version of this is on the channel. So it's a little bit special of a match for you. You get to be as we call it in the referee world, you're on the whistle, and your dad is the assistant. Now, did you guys plan that out, or was it like?
Well, Mark Shoemate was the one that signed that, so he didn't tell us that we were going to do that. It just, I guess, so randomly picked. But I think they said that was like the first father son duo or something like that.
That's what I was going to say. It's the first
Mm-hmm.
father son duo in the history of state wrestling. We think we haven't been able to verify it yet. We think that in the 70s, and this is all hearsay, I could be totally wrong, that there was a set of brothers that officiated together. Nobody really knows their name. I just keep on hearing, there was a set of brothers in the 70s, until somebody comes out with a name or the video with it or whatever. We're going to say, until we're not saying that you're wrong. We just want to be able. That's something about the series is we've been able to put out so much accurate information that we want to keep that trend. So first father son that we can absolutely say, yes, this happened. And before you go out, you're up, kind of stretching, kind of getting loose, whatever. Does dad give you any tips, any, hey, let's do this, or how's it go?
It's funny you bring that up because I was a nervous wreck. I ain't even gonna lie. I had Dad standing there. He was kind of trying to calm my nerves down. I felt like I was going into like a wrestling match or something. My nerves were kicking in, and I was like, I don't know why I'm so nervous. I had Dad calling me down on one side and Jason on the other side, and all the motor guys were all, it's just another match, man. Just go out there and just ref it the same way. And once I blew the whistle, it was like, oh, here we go. It's just like a wrestling match. Like as soon as it goes, it's
Mm.
go time, and it all settled in once I blew the whistle, and I felt fine. But man, that build up though is like, even though we were in a small gym, it still had the same build up as like what I would have saw in Frankfurt as a kid, or
Yeah.
what we saw at the horse park in high school.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was it's a rush that some of these refs get. I don't think a lot of people see that because it's like, oh, the spotlight's on you, man. And like you said, if you mess up, you're like, oh crap, everybody saw it, or you tripped going to the mat, or
Yeah. Yeah.
something, yeah, goes
Absolutely.
wrong.
This past year, got to do the girls state finals, and I had I don't remember what weight. It was early in the like 120, 114, whatever. I was an assistant with John Esham. We was up kind of, talking, whatever. Right before we go out, he kind of gave me a fist bump. He said, just keep me out of trouble, brother. I was like, man, if
Yep.
you're in trouble, I'm in it with you because we're right there together. So we're going to pull up your match video here. Of course, we had the 3 years at GRC, thanks to the Miss Rona and her shenanigans. Of course, this is 22. We actually, no crowd, which, like you said, the gym, I don't know GRC's capacity, but it's a pretty big gym, but only the top was open. You can see fans around the top of the arena there. No matter how many people's there, man, these guys have put a lot in, and our job is to make sure that A, the wrestlers are safe, and B, we give them the best possible officiating that we can give them. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If we see it a certain way, that's how we're going to call it. But that is the perception of the official, and it's it's a big honor, especially with Kentucky only having, I think there was 10 of you guys that year.
Yeah, we had two on the mat at all times. So it was, yeah, about 10 of us, I think they
Yeah,
had.
and Kentucky's not classed. There's no public-private split like some states. No divisions. No, it's just if you win it, you're the best.
You're the
And
overall, yep.
yep, and that's the way it should be. I mean, there's
Mhm.
no reason to have 13 different classes or divisions or whatever. As Ric Flair would say, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and you're the man wearing the stripes in this one, man. So let's hit it. All right, so you back up, give them some room. New officials, that's something that I've seen a lot of newer referees do, is stay right on top of the wrestlers. Give them some space like Blake's doing here.
Yeah, it's funny because like that's the thing that Dad, all them preached at me over like the course of refing is getting back away from the action. You see a whole lot more.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Here you kind of walk into frame here, back to the camera, and the way you and your dad, you're keeping like a 12-6, always, being 90 degrees or directly across from one another. I guess that'd be 180. No, I don't know. I'm not good at math. You're directly across from each other, whatever
Yeah,
that means.
yeah,
So you move around, you give your two, and you hold it up 2 or 3 seconds there. Newer officials or even officials have been around for a while, and something maybe you don't do is make sure you hold your points up at least 3 seconds. Give it a little bit of a twist. Well, now it's 3, but hold it up a
yeah.
little bit. Let everybody see it. There should be no confusion about what you call to the crowd or to the score table. All right, so Uriah is on top here. He's got the blue trim black singlet with the PT on the back. So right here, man, there's a little bit, I'm not going to say a lull because they're working, but what are you looking for as far as what the top guy's doing, what the bottom guy's doing?
Uh, so what I'm looking at here is you can see me go in. I'm telling them, improve on like what top guy's doing. I'm yelling improve. Like keep the same action we got going. And I'm not necessarily looking just to hit the one guy for stalling. I'm looking in the scenarios the top guy's running or what the bottom guy's doing. Is he trying to come up from the bottom or is he getting overpowered? And in that scenario right there, I look like that Uriah was just a good hard tough ride on him.
Mm-hmm. So
But
Verzi won the toss. He deferred. Gilliard chose down. So he gets his one. You give your neutral, then your escape, and that's the way you should do it. Officials, it's like Blake done right there. Give your point, then give your signal. Don't combine your signals. Don't combine your right there. You even done the.
I think I just signaled that for the poke in the eye.
So
I didn't even realize that.
Yep, you were ahead of the curve on calling the officials' time.
That's funny.
So we're back neutral. We're back neutral. And you said something to them right there. I would have to imagine keep it in bounds or something.
Stay in center. Yep.
Okay, stay in the center. And now rule change that the 10-foot circle's gone, so or it's optional, I should say.
Another thing that works great is when you have an assistant and like Dad there is the assistant doing their job like by communicating. Throughout the match, Dad does like a drive by and he says like, "Look for this," or "I see it this way," and that helps a lot. That a lot of people don't really. I don't think a lot of people see that from the outside. Is it the assistant has an important job just as much as the head ref does?
Absolutely.
And it's pretty cool though, because like Dad, me and him kind of like got like I can look at him and see tell me what he's saying, and that really was pretty cool to be able to experience that.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Now right here, when he walks behind him, like guys, that's what we call a drive-by. So if you're new into it and your partner, maybe a more senior referee, kind of comes behind you, like Blake said, and whispers to you, don't take it as us trying to officiate the match for you. That's just what we call a drive-by. Hey, let's look for this or let's look at that. So these two periods so far, you can tell you're being verbal, you're talking to the wrestlers, and that's a good way of officiating the match, is letting them know, hey, I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just here. I'm seeing what you're doing. Uriah takes down. He gets up, gets his one. And as of this filming, Uriah signed to wrestle, I believe, University of the Cumberlands. So,
oh wow, that's cool.
Yep, they're getting a pretty good wrestler down there. They got him. They'll have Austin Silva on that team. Thomas Ketchin Carter.
Was this Austin? So was that the one from John Harden?
Yes,
I did. I think I did his finals match the year after this.
Him and Chase Price. Yep, you're exactly right.
Yep.
That video's on the channel too.
I'm gonna check that out. Yeah. I don't remember seeing it yet, so I'm gonna check that out definitely.
All right, so we're in the third period, and we're back. We're back neutral. Not saying that the action's kind of slowed, but it's still a one takedown match, if you will. So I don't want to say everybody, but after a long day of officiating, especially having to be, dialed in at 100% the whole day, you can tend to, I'm not going to say zone out, not you, Blake, specifically, just us.
Yeah, I know.
At the end of a long day, you can kind of tend to zone out But man, this is when you really need to be on your game when it's a
Oh
state
yeah.
championship match. And for me, it feels like the more that, like kind of like what you're doing, you're moving, you're not staying still, the better I can focus. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's just the way I do it. You hit Verzi for stalling right there. You're still talking to him. And that's where this one ends.
I had forgotten how close the match was. I thought that Uriah won by a lot more. Well, that was a good match overall. Actually,
It was. It was a really,
that was a
really
really
good
good
match,
match.
man. And of course, Uriah, two-time state champion. Uh, and, great performance by you. I mean, it really was. There was no officiating issues. You hit Uriah like you should for stalling. I don't think even, Harry, our buddy Harry McDonald, or anybody could say, hey, should have done this, should have done that. No, it was a solid officiated match. No coaches, no issues. Watching your performance back now after couple more years in the game, anything that you see that you've improved on or anything like that?
Oh yeah, tremendously. Just like I think I'm more vocal now than what I used to be, and then watching that, like I could tell that, like I could look at myself and see, oh, he's nervous. I could
Yeah.
tell like the way I'm moving, or I'm like twitching a little bit somewhere. But I think I got a lot calmer, and then like I've read a lot of stuff, and talking to a lot of other referees all over the state and all over the country and stuff, and just relaxing more in the match, and like I catch myself moving so much, and I'm working a sweat up, almost like I'm wrestling. But if I
Yeah.
like, I've worked on so much of just calming down and just watching the match as an official should.
And that is, you talk about watching yourself and all that. I have Lawrence County two state champions, Jacob and Jarius Martin. They moved in to Kentucky from Cleveland, the Cleveland area, my first year of officiating. And I got to convert a bunch of Jacob's old family tapes and wrestling tapes. I think I'd done like 58, 59 videos for him and his family. And of course, my first year of officiating was on there. And from 2003, 2004. And I'm just like, oh my, I can't even watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's painful to watch. And then
um,
Josh Ashbrook at Harrison County, I got to officiate. My first regional tournament was 2007 at a Henry Clay, and he gave me a tape right before the state tournament of a couple of the Harrison County guys. I guess his mom or somebody filmed. He had the tape. Me and Patrick McNutt done a couple together, and even then, watching it, I'm just like, this is painful. I
yeah,
can't do
yeah.
this. And that's how you get better, guys. Is just getting out, getting mat time. I don't know how many tournaments this past season that I would go to, and I would hardly even step on the mat. There would be 2, 3, 4, however many new officials, 3 mats. Hey, you guys are reffing today. I've got plenty of mat time. Let me help you all. Let me just give you some advice. Let me watch you, do a couple eval forms on you. Hey, you done this good, you done that good, whatever. And like you said, we're just trying to raise the overall wrestling in Kentucky's growing. The state champions, the state placers, even from 10 years ago, the level of wrestling is raised, and it's up to the veteran officials, the state tournament level officials, to filter our knowledge down, filter our experience. Hey, this worked for us, down to the next generation that's coming up, the people that maybe are interested, whether they're a little bit older in life, maybe they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever age somebody wants to start, or maybe they're straight out of high school and want to do it, it's our responsibility to make sure that the officiating crop from Fulton County to Phelps, from Kenton County to Wayne County, everywhere in between is good. We can say that the KWOA is giving everybody a good product, and we're not just out here, on a wing and a prayer. Hopefully, we get one call right in a meet. We want to make sure that, when the ex referee's coming, oh yeah, man, this guy does a good job, or this girl does a good job. We do have a couple like Kristen, just in a couple years, man, she's doing national level tournaments. Just by, of course, living with Andrew, you're going to pick up a few things, but going to meets and stuff. I mean, so just because you maybe not have a background in officiating doesn't mean you can't jump right in and be productive to the cause. And I think we've covered a lot of ground here so far, but we like to end the videos with giving our guests a opportunity to say or add or whatever, anything they'd like. So, man, if you want to say anything, tell us how bad Jason Sidoris is at officiating. Just feel free to go ahead and hit it with us. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I mean, it's fun reffing. Like, I've got my brother like into it. He previously coached for 2 years as soon as he got done with college, and me and my dad talked him into it, and it's crazy, that he saw it from a different perspective this year. Like, wow, it's totally different coaching and yelling at the refs, and then now I'm the ref, and like, okay, I see it from both sides now, and I think that's pretty cool. If you see a lot of coaches that like would do that, like the middle school or youth coaches that would register to ref, and I think they see it from a different perspective if they were to coach and referee, like, because we're, like I said, we're growing in Kentucky, and I think that it'd be okay for coaches to do that, and I think it'd make you a better coach overall, actually, because you see it from a different like perspective wise, and but I was blessed with having dad, and Mark Shoemate was another big one, and I like to give a lot of props to him, and like he was heck, for my graduation present, when I graduated high school, he gave me his flip disc and his armbands, and I still use them to this day. At every tournament I'm at, I always use them, and I just know I feel like he's there watching me, and I always owe to go to pick the phone up to call him, but I know he's still there with us in spirit and stuff like that, and he was a great thing to Kentucky wrestling and a great thing to the Officials Association in Kentucky.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, of course, I don't think everybody had the option to get them, but the Mark Shoemate pins to wear on your jacket. I've got mine somewhere. Like, you guys can't see it, but like, this is, of course, a blank wall, and like there's a door here, and my bedroom is over here to the left. So if I point that way, that's what I'm pointing to, is my bedroom. But the topic of seeing it from both sides, the coaches and the officials' perspective. Coaches, wrestlers, parents, whoever you have invested in. Well, I promise you, referees are not out to work over, screw, do a professional wrestling angle of cheating a kid or a team or whatever. Believe me, that is not what our intention is. We see it as it happens. We don't have the ability, like in college, to throw the brick, go to the replay booth, and say, "Oh, you know what? I got it wrong." Whatever. And if by some chance that you have an issue with an official, especially a newer official, don't go out on the mat, act like an idiot, try to fight them in the parking lot. I'm going to delete you from Facebook. Whatever. Don't do that. If you have the video of whatever you're upset over, contact myself, contact Blake, Rocky, Andrew, Kenny, John, any of the state tournament level officials, anybody associated with the KWOA, Patrick McNutt, any of the assigners that you know. If you don't know somebody and you're watching this channel, get up with me and just send me the footage. Send me the video of what happened, and we can build off that. If you're just like my wrestling mom video that I put out here a few back in the summer, if you're that type of person, you're not going to have too many people that want to come to your school, because believe me, I mean, there are some schools that aren't fun to go to. Just because of the way some of the parents act, and you end up having to hit, parents in the stands, have administration walk people out or whatever. And that's not, I don't enjoy doing that. I don't like knowing I'm going to a place that is, like the Double Deuce on Roadhouse. You know what I mean?
Roadhouse, yeah.
It's not fun to go and have to have Dalton, stand on the side of the mat.
Big bad Dalton. Yeah, yep.
Big bad Dalton. So, and I don't think we've said it, but you've said Dad and your brother. Let's make sure Dad is Rocky. I think everybody has seen Rocky around, and then of course your brother's Austin.
Yep.
So that way we like to give names to the names and faces, to dads or brothers or whoever it is. So that way we can have them on there. So Blake, man, I think we got a lot of great information. Hope people, use it. Some of the knowledge that you've gained and got from some veteran officials, some of them that are no longer with us, and they can pass it down and understand, hey, it's fun. We like doing it, but we're not out to, screw anybody, cheat anybody, anybody over. So just work with us. And if you think you can do better, by all means, come join us.
Yep, come join us.
Come put the stripes on. Come put the wristbands on. Come out and join us. Believe me, what was it? Notorious B.I.G. said, "Believe me, sweetie, we got enough to feed the needy. We got enough matches to go around. We got enough meets to go around. If you think you can do better, come join us." But we
have enough starter packs every year.
Exactly, we have enough. We can get you going, and there's enough meets, enough teams going around. I can promise we can keep you busy. Then you come back and talk to us and just tell us how tough it is and how, like, you know what? I don't think this is for me anymore. But Blake, man, I think we've reached a good ending point. Thank you for doing this. It was a great performance in your first ever state finals, man. And I guess we'll see you probably at either the banquet, state tournament, state duels here next year.
Yes, sir.
The Johnson County to Louisville trip. Sometimes we make it, sometimes we'll just see each other in passing, but man, thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it. We will see you guys, and now we can say girls on the mats.